In the latest speaker in the Lok Sabha, it was I.N.D.I.A Chief Asaduddin Owaisi, who was also one of the members of the opposition, who was part of Operation Sindoor delegations that took India's message on the military action to various countries across the world. While speaking on the floor of the parliament, he ensured that he steered clear of questioning the operation in itself, but he did speak about Donald Trump taking the credit for ceasefire.
उनको तकलीफ है सेकुलरिज्म से, सोशलिज्म से, मगर हमारे संविधान के प्रियम्बल में लफ्ज सॉवरेन है। सॉवरेन का मतलब यह है कि हम खुद मुख्तार हैं। एक गोरा व्हाइट हाउस में बैठकर भारत की सीज फायर का ऐलान करेगा? यह आपका नेशनलिज्म है कि हम कोई एडवर्सेरियल कंट्री नहीं है अमेरिका के लिए, हम दोस्त हैं, स्ट्रेटेजिक रिलेशनशिप है। क्या क्या एग्रीमेंट हमने साइन नहीं किया, तो क्या ये दोस्ती निभा रहे हैं?
To discuss the assessment of day one of Operation Sindoor debate, we are now joined by my guest, Tushar Gupta, political analyst, and Dr. Akashdeep Muni, who is also a political analyst, Tausif Ahmed Khan, a lawyer and political analyst, is with us, and Manish Barrier, a political analyst. Sir, I apologize if I'm getting your name wrong, but let's start by asking you this. Opposition had been asking for a two-day special session. Now, they have already been given more than 2 days, perhaps, because Lok Sabha is going to debate it today and tomorrow, and perhaps Rajya Sabha will also go on for 2 days. Have their questions been addressed on day one? Manish.
Yeah, good evening to you and my co-panelists and all the viewers. In the first place, I don't think there were any questions which have any credible, questions that are coming. The same, the stuff which the opposition has been talking about for long time. They repeated the same thing. No fresh perspective. It is so surprising. Even, any neutral observer would say, let's take up a third country. They would be really shocked that the citizens, some of the citizens of this country would question their own government vis-a-vis what has happened to the enemy. Right. I have not seen this happening even in Pakistan. Pakistan's opposition talking about in the same manner the way Indian opposition is doing. So it is, very questionable, the kind of questions they are asking. Some of the questions are downright harmful for this country. How many jets? Now, this is very strategic.
Sir, I'm sorry for interjecting you right now. We'll come back to you. But right now, I'm told that Dharmendra Yadav of the Samajwadi Party is speaking even as some ruckus is being seen in the Lok Sabha.
सभापति जी, आज ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के सफल अभियान पर जहां पर जो चर्चा हो रही है, मैं इसमें भाग लेने के लिए खड़ा हूं।
सुनिए, कोई भी बात रिकॉर्ड में नहीं जाएगी। आप बैठिए प्लीज। ऑनरेबल मेंबर, बिहेव योरसेल्फ। Dharmendra Yadav ji, behave yourself. Please be seated. Dharmendra Yadav ji, please be seated. Please be seated. You don't behave like this. Yes, don't behave like this. Dharmendra Pradhan ji, don't behave like this. Please.
बहुत अच्छा। आदरणीय सभापति जी, आज ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के सफल अभियान पर जहां पर चर्चा हो रही है और आपने उसमें मुझे भाग लेने का मौका दिया, मैं आपका आभार प्रकट करना चाहता हूं। और सबसे पहले मैं उन शहीदों को नमन करना चाहता हूं जिन्होंने पहलगाम नरसंहार में अपनी शहादत जो है वो दी है। और उसके साथ साथ ही जम्मू कश्मीर में जम्मू हो, पुंछ हो, राजौरी हो या अन्य भारत पाक सीमा पर पाकिस्तान की गोलाबारी में जिन लोगों की शहादत हुई, जिन्होंने जान गंवाई, मैं उनको भी नमन करना चाहता हूं। और नमन करना चाहता हूं भारतीय सेना के वीरों को, जिन्होंने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर अभियान को सफल बनाया और पाकिस्तान को दूर चटाने का काम किया। महोदय, ऑपरेशन सिंदूर भारत की ओर से 6 और 7 मई की रात को पाकिस्तान और पीओके में आतंकी ठिकानों के खिलाफ चलाया गया और सैन्य अभियान था। और ये 22 अप्रैल 2025 को जम्मू कश्मीर के पहलगाम नरसंहार के विरोध विरोध में वहां पर जो आतंकी हमला हुआ उसका जवाब था, जिसमें 26 भारतीय नागरिकों ने अपनी जान गंवाई और पर्यटकों की जघन्य हत्या की गई। मैं इसे नरसंहार ही कहूंगा। लेकिन महोदय, मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि पाकिस्तान ने अपनी हार को देखते हुए इस दौरान जहां पर ये सिविलियन पर और रिहायशी एरिया में गोलाबारी करने का जो निर्णय लिया वो बहुत ही निंदनीय था। और महोदय मैं
All right, Dharmendra Yadav was earlier the one who was asked by the chair not to create a ruckus. Earlier in the day, interestingly, there were also visuals that were put out when during the defense minister's address, Dharmendra Yadav was seen briefly taking a nap as well, along with some other SP MPs in tow. But bringing back to our discussion, Manish, you were making your point. Please complete it.
Yeah, even I was, very shocked when Mr. Gogoi said Buzdil Sarkar. Now, ये वही सरकार है जिन्होंने, कांग्रेस पार्टी के समय में when 26/11 happened, they did not do any, no action. So at that time, dossier होता था. अभी तो कम से कम government is attacking the enemy, government is getting result. Now, one thing is very clear from today's discussion. The government has made it very clear, and that was clear right from day one, that whatever this government's objective was, to penalize Pakistan, to penalize terrorists, for these kind of attacks. So the new normal is now very clear from government. If you are going to have any sort of disturbance in any part of the country, we are going to take revenge. And this is a new doctrine for this country, which is a far, far difference from what the government, especially the UPA government, has done. Second, the Trump thing. That is also very clear. The External Affairs Minister made it very clear that between April 22nd to June 17, there was no talk. Now, why this kind of a question? I'm very, very surprised, because you have the External Affairs Minister on the floor of the House, putting up these words. And he's a constitutional authority. So these were the two more important things. What Defense Minister said and what External Affairs Minister said.
Akashdeep Muni, are you convinced? Have the queries been addressed now to your satisfaction?
See, first of all, today Honorable Defense Minister Rajnath Singh ji in Lok Sabha said that none of our soldiers were harmed in Operation Sindoor. While the official statement by DGMO Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai said that we lost 5 Indian soldiers in Operation Sindoor. So my first question is, why Honorable Defense Minister disrespected martyrs? Why don't we all think that he should resign immediately? First. Now, today's parliament session raised more questions than answers. How did terrorists infiltrate Pahalgam? Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi repeatedly asked the defense minister to explain the apparent failure of intelligence that allowed militants to reach Pahalgam. No answers. Why were losses admitted by the CDS abroad and not by the government at home? We all know the Chief of Defence Staffs, General Anil Chauhan, speaking from Singapore, publicly confirmed that Indian fighter aircraft losses were suffered during the initial stages of Operation Sindoor. Now, my question is, why do we lack transparency? Like, for example, during Kargil Review Committee, there was a review committee who told that what are the pros and cons of Kargil, specifically when Atal Bihari Vajpayee was there. Why in Operation Sindoor there is lack of transparency? We all know Deputy Army Chief, Lieutenant General Rahul R. Singh said that Pakistan has the front face, but China is acting behind the scenes. What action did Indian government take against China? Why are we still in business with China? Why there has been repeated intelligence failures from Pathankot to Pulwama to Pahalgam, and why taking back POK, which is a den of terror? What was not our motive, as the Honorable Defence Minister said? So these all questions will be raised, and my final point is that Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, said that when our soldiers are being martyred and innocent people are being killed, the Congress government wants to play cricket with Pakistan. This is insult to the sacrifice our brave. Why still we are playing cricket with Pakistan when this particular Pahalgam happened, when we are at war and Operation Sindoor is going on? I'm still shocked, and there are many questions I am sure the panelists won't be answered.
खून और पानी एक साथ नहीं बह सकता है, पर cricket खेला जा सकता है is the opposition's biggest question.
Well, I'll start with the fact check first of all. The defense minister did not say that we did not lose any soldiers. The defense minister said that no important asset was lost. So I hope Mr. Muni doesn't make up statements on national television. It perhaps is late into the night, but it's not that late that you can make up stuff. Number two, cricket with Pakistan is unacceptable, Megha. You know, I have been saying this since 2019, since the Pulwama attack, that if BCCI should do anything, it should ensure that it uses its muscle, money, power to have Pakistan expelled from the ICC. It should ensure that every single individual participating in the PSL in any capacity is banned from the IPL. This is what BCCI should be doing. And if indeed they decide to go ahead with the Asia Cup, that would be utterly disappointing. Point number three, again, the defense minister categorically stated that losses were not to our important assets and there was nothing that the country couldn't afford. The military briefing already acknowledged the martyrdom of 5 soldiers. That was not contested. But tell me, Meghna, has there been any battle in the history of human civilization where the winning side has not incurred losses? I'm talking about hardware losses here. I'm not talking about human losses. I'm talking about hardware losses. But for some reason, Congress since day one has been fixated on the losses, very few losses on our side. They haven't been fixated on what Pakistan lost in terms of human resources and hardware resources. They are not interested in the kind of hardware that was breached, that was supplied by the Chinese. They're very quick to quote that, look, the Chinese are supplying Pakistan with weapons. Fair enough. But they do not state or they do not address the point where the same Indian armed forces have breached the entire Chinese air defense systems in Pakistan. So somewhere even the Congress is very selective in the issues they are picking, and that was called out on the floor of the Parliament today. Point number 4, more importantly, I'm very happy that the foreign minister brought up the history of the Congress with respect to Pakistan and China. Look, it's very well to say that China, Pakistan is an evil axis, but it hasn't come into existence post 2014. Very interestingly, people won't remember, it was in the final years of the UPA when the Chinese committed around $60 billion in the CPEC, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. But has anyone ever wondered what went so wrong in the last 11 years that the CPEC never took off? What really happened in Balochistan? Who was sponsoring those activities? People don't ask these questions because these are some very, unrealistic or inconvenient truth that the Congress doesn't want to discomfort themselves with.
No, but the convenient truth for the Congress, Tushar, is what P. Chidambaram said today. The same man who with alarming ease said it's saffron terror couldn't even say Pakistan and terror in the same line. He said, what is the evidence that Pakistan is linked to this, to the Pahalgam terror attack?
Let me complete this. I'll give you a very interesting chronology. 2006, there are bomb blasts in Mumbai, no action against Pakistan. 2008, there are again 26/11 attack in Mumbai, no action against Pakistan. Then in 2009, there is the Sharm el-Sheikh meet, where Pakistan is de-linked from terror financing and terror sponsorship altogether. Then in 2011, you again have blasts in Mumbai. Just 4 months after, Pakistan's entire leadership was hosted by the then government of the day in Mohali in April 2011 on the eve of the India-Pakistan semi-final. So you see this chronology. Congress has a history of giving Pakistan clean shit every time. Today, when Chidambaram said that we don't know if the terrorists actually came from Pakistan, he wasn't just casting doubt on the Indian armed forces. He was essentially giving Pakistan a clean sheet that maybe that terrorist nation is not sponsoring terrorism in India. It's probably some people of Jammu and Kashmir. Do you realize how problematic that is?
Tausif, what do you make of your ally at the national levels utterances like that?
So you see, we are talking about the Operation Sindoor, which took place after the breach of national security. Who is in charge of national security? The defense minister, the home minister, the BSF is under BJP minister, there is CRPF and there is intelligence wing. So are we becoming a nation where we do not fix identity, accountability? Are we becoming a nation where the opposition cannot ask question from the government about the lapses that their ministry is doing?
absolutely.
We will put all
Lapses
blame
can
on
be
our armed
questioned,
forces.
but
That
when
is
you are
what exactly
fixing
BJP is
accountability,
doing.
that doesn't mean that the primary person that is accountable for it should be first of all let off the hook.
Resign?
You are questioning your forces, you are questioning the NIA investigation, you are questioning the entire government's crackdown and your foreign policy.
No.
When the Congress party says that what proof is there that they were from Pakistan, they are doing a disservice to everybody except to Pakistan.
It is the people at the top. It is the corrupt politicians. Our soldiers die, they are ready to die, and they have always fought with valor, standing, taking enemy bullets at the border. It is the corrupt politicians
corrupt
who
how?
Supply them with
in Operation Sindoor's context, corrupt. Who is corrupt?
It is therefore
Tasif, who is corrupt in the context of Operation Sindoor?
What is the, why do we have an intelligence failure? Who has resigned? No, please do not interrupt me. Allow me to.
I'm just seeking clarity. I'm not interrupting. I'm just seeking clarity. You said corrupt politicians at the top.
Without any interruption. No, please. You can. I am being very clear. No, you can question your clarity. Give me one uninterrupted 2 minutes, please. I am saying a breach of national security happens. No minister resigns. Defense minister, finance, external minister, home minister, they all keep mum. They come to parliament after so many months and they say, why you are repeating the same question? Why the opposition will not repeat the same question? You are not answering the question. Then the question has to be repeated. They say that the
questions are not being repeated. The questions are not only being repeated, there are fresh dimensions that are being added. For example,
10 seconds. No, please 10 seconds. Please do not interrupt me. Give me 10 seconds. Please do not interrupt me.
Yes, please go on.
Please 10 seconds. BJP is saying they have made a history. Yes, they have made a history. They have made a history in the first time of history. A sovereign nation, a sovereign country like India had to be surrendered because of the intervention of the American president, that the president...
if the opposition has already drawn its conclusions, then I think everybody is wasting their time by answering. In fact, if you heard Mr. Jaishankar today, he pretty much said the same thing that he has repeated at least 7 times in the last 3 months. And on that note, stay on with me, gentlemen, because we've got Prime Minister's tweet coming in on External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's statement in the Parliament today. Prime Minister has tweeted, and I quote, a speech by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar ji was outstanding. He highlighted how the world has clearly heard India's perspective on fighting the menace of terrorism through Operation Sindoor. Another point that was made by S. Jaishankar today, Mr. Manish Barrier, was that Congress keeps...
people who speak against...
Sorry, sir? I couldn't get you.
Has to be interrupted and shut down. That is the objective.
No. Nobody is being shut down, sir. Neither here nor by the government in the parliament.
I was just allowing the other side to speak.
Sir, you said...
Even today you are not allowing me to speak.
Sir, I am just breaking news, which is my job. You are being allowed to put across your point. I asked you a question. You said corrupt leadership.
Your viewers will watch it.
Answer my question. You said corrupt leadership. Who is corrupt and how?
Time you gave to BJP spokesperson.
There is no BJP on the panel, number one. Number two, you said corrupt leadership. Please define what do you mean by corruption and who are the leaders you're talking about.
The country. That is the problem.
Sir.
This behavior of media. Media channel
please don't cast aspersions.
To hurt the nation.
The question
this is going to hurt our country and the future generation. If
sir, I'll tell you what is hurting our country. When somebody like Deepender Hooda goes on the floor of the house and makes a joke out of the opposition's contentions.
Give a clean chit to the government. If today opposition is not allowed to ask questions from the government,
sir,
we will have to. Our future generation will suffer because of the.
Tasif, you get uninterrupted time. Please answer my question. When you said corrupt leadership, define corrupt. Define the leadership that you are referring up to. Go on.
Yes, I am saying breach of national security happens. Who is in charge? The intelligence failure. Who is in charge?
So you didn't say dereliction of duty, you said corrupt. Tell me where is the corruption?
Please ask them to resign. Resign. If you are incapable of protecting the country, you must resign. You must resign. If you are not fit to sit in the chair, you must resign. We are a country of
Tushar,
140 crore people.
Tausif Ahmed here is making a point that Gaurav Gogoi and at least 6-7 other leaders from the opposition on the floor of the House haven't made it today at all. Do you think it is a valid demand? And perhaps we'll see somebody tomorrow making these points?
Tausif to just take a step back and realize what he's saying doesn't really add up and make sense. He should really introspect the way he's making his point. Number two, again, please understand, you're calling it an intelligence failure. Yes, it is. The government itself called it an intelligence failure. But what happened after that? Unlike the previous national government, which we had between 2004 and 14, this government is addressing the issue at its core. Tell me, when was the last time a nuclear power bombed the length of another nuclear power from Skardu to Karachi? They talk about Chinese supplying weapons. Has Congress even once, or the TMC or any regional party once said that once the military bases were bombed by India, a lot of those military bases also included bases that were used as operational bases by the Chinese under CPEC? Do they know that Skardu Air Base, that was in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, was being used by the Chinese as an operational airbase, and that is what India bombed? This is my problem with the opposition. They do not read, they do not do the research, they want resignation. You want the resignation of the defense minister? Ask when there is no action against Pakistan. Today, the mastermind of the Pahalgam terror attack was butchered by the Indian armed forces, and rightfully so. Did you make a point about it? Absolutely not. Here is the problem. Did Mamata Banerjee resign after the Arjikar case? No, she did not. She's the Chief Minister of West Bengal, and it's her duty to fix the problem. As it is the duty of the Defense Minister of this country to fix the problem, which in this case is Pakistan. But you come on a show and just start rambling, which doesn't make any sense. You're just not making a point. You're just mindlessly uttering anything just to, show how shallow you are.
Mindless and cluelessness do seem to be the problem with the opposition, because, and let me elaborate why, because we've got breaking developments coming in from top sources that the I.N.D.I.A bloc parties will continue to raise the issue of special intensive revision in the parliament. Opposition MPs will once again protest at Makar Dwar tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. before the proceedings of the House begin. The sources are also saying that the government has agreed to the opposition's demand to discuss the SIR issue in the BAC meeting of Lok Sabha. Pragya now joins us for more details on this. Pragya, this is something that the opposition also, as Kiran Rijiju said, suddenly brought up today, just 15 minutes before the pre-scheduled discussion on Operation Sindoor was about to start. And now we are learning that this matter is going to be brought up in the BAC, and the government has in fact agreed to discuss the matter?
Absolutely, and government said that, Election Commission does not fall under the purview of Parliament or any ministry, but electoral reforms, there had been debate in Parliament previously also, and this can be discussed at length. Electoral reforms is one thing that everyone should discuss. In fact, this is the debate that can take place in Parliament, but not SIR. So not in that, not that clearly has been put that out by Mr. Kiran Rijiju, but because they wanted opposition also to start the debate on Operation Sindoor as demanded by the opposition itself. There is a lot of pressure on Congress by many of the regional opposition parties to not abandon this SIR issue, and in fact it is the reason why these opposition parties will be also protesting at 10:30 in the morning tomorrow as well on SIR issue, despite the fact that assurance has been given by the government that whatever is possible on this particular issue, this can be discussed in BAC, and government, and in fact Speaker has already told opposition parties that it is only through the BAC that any kind of debate that you want to take place in Parliament will be discussed, because Business Advisory Committee decides the week-long agenda of the Parliament. And there is a protocol to what kind of discussion should take place, what kind of bills should be taken up this week. So this is all part of the BAC. Let's see what happens in the BAC tomorrow. If that takes place, whether the government will agree to, the SIR in the form that opposition wants, or would they want only electoral reforms to be discussed?
All right. Thank you, Pragya, for joining us with those details. Now, Akashdeep Muni, every single person that you see in those visuals playing out on the screens is a very experienced parliamentarian. Of course, these people know that you cannot just out of the blue come up with a demand for a discussion. There is a process that is set. It goes to the BAC, then the timings are discussed, the format is discussed, the norms and conventions under which a discussion is to take place will happen. It is going to be finalized. Only after that does it come on the floor of the House. Now, today morning, when all the opposition leaders, including Sonia Gandhi herself, she very rarely makes an appearance at these protests, come out and hold a banner of SIR, attack on democracy, and suddenly demand a debate on SIR, does it not show their duplicity in the sense that it was a pre-decided debate that they had asked for 15 minutes before it is to start? They jump and come up with a new demand? Elections priority over anything else?
Priyaji, it is, first of all, it's saddening that the media does not fact checks people when they lie on national television. Honorable Minister Rajnath Singh ji said, and I quote, "Were any of our brave soldiers harmed in this operation? Question mark. The answer is no, none of our soldiers were harmed." Your panelist here, he lied on national television. He should apologize first, and you should have fact checked him. You can Google it. Your viewers can.
Sir, if you would excuse me for not fact checking, because Mr. Gaurav Gogoi, who spoke right after Rajnath Singh, also did not do that, and probably you should share your notes with him as well. Thank you for doing it for our viewers, though. Please go on.
Okay. Now on the SIR issue, I just want to tell that it is the Honorable Supreme Court who has raised serious question on the conduct of SIR.
No, sir, let's not. Please, Akash, please, let's stick to the question. Everybody knows. I mean, if you go to the Supreme Court, I can say if the matter is in the Supreme Court, then the opposition leaders should not be standing outside and wasting Parliament's time today. Let Supreme Court decide whatever it wants to decide, and then go ahead with your protest and discussion. Please answer my question. Isn't it opposition's duplicity to raise this matter on a day when Operation Sindoor's pre-decided debate was to happen?
No. This is very important issue. Why this is important issue? Because
nobody is saying it is not important. Are you saying that Operation Sindoor is not important?
No. I am saying that Operation Sindoor issue is very, very important, and the opposition was asking for it. But why the protest is that? Because the Honorable Election Commission is not hearing what the Supreme Court is saying, and that is why they are now protesting. जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट की सुननी नहीं जा रही है, the Honorable Supreme Court said that आधार यूज कर लो, and election commission said no, we will not use आधार.
सर, सुप्रीम कोर्ट को अगर ऑर्डर देना होता तो वो ऑर्डर दे देते. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने सिर्फ सजेशन दिया था, and they left it on the EC. Let's see what happens in the next hearing when EC responds.
दो मुद्दों पे बात नहीं हो सकती.
बिल्कुल हो सकती है. मैं सिर्फ इतना कह रही हूँ कि जब 12 बजे डिस्कशन शुरू होना है तो 12:15 बजे डिस्कशन शुरू होना है, तो 12 बजे जाकर आप बोलेंगे कि नहीं, हमें SIR पे भी डिस्कशन चाहिए. ये क्या लॉजिक है?
प्रॉब्लम है? व्हाट इज द इशू? देश में बहुत सारे इश्यूज हैं, तो इसका मतलब ये कि ना कि अगर एक पे बात हो रही तो दूसरे पे मुंह बंद कर दे. मीडिया का काम ही है कि ना कि इन सब इशू को उठाना, और मुझे लगता है कि दोनों इशू इंपॉर्टेंट है. आप सोचिए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला कि ना कि आधार यूज कर लो कितनी बार, आज पिछले हियरिंग में भी बोला, फिर भी इलेक्शन कमीशन सुन नहीं रहा है.
अच्छा, so Akash Puni, there are the stakeholders according to you are Election Commission, the Supreme Court. इसमें से जवाब कौन देगा पार्लियामेंट में? Election Commission is a parliamentary body. Who is a constitutional body? Who is going to answer your questions in the Parliament?
Who elects the Election Commission? Who elects the Election Commission? The Home Minister and the Prime Minister. So the government will be answerable. The executive.
So you're saying that Election Commission does not function independently, nor do you expect it to function independently? You want somebody else to speak on their behalf?
When the Honorable Supreme Court raised the question that ED is not functioning independently, and
so those questions will be answered in the Supreme Court. How can they be answered in the Parliament?
Because the government elects the Election Commissioner. Because it is the Home Minister and the Prime Minister who elects the
EC. Manish Warrior, yes, Operation Sindoor is important. Yes, opposition has been asking for a special session on that, which the centre did not agree to. Now it has come in monsoon session, but Bihar polls bhi to aa rahe hain. So why can't several discussions happen simultaneously?
No, the first thing, Priyaji, is that during today's discussion on Operation Sindoor, it was very clear to the opposition that they have no material out here at all to embarrass the government. In fact, the government and this country has been a winner, big time. So they have embarrassed themselves with what they have said. Right? The public is not buying any of the arguments they have said, because the people of this country know that this country has really done well as far as this war with Pakistan is concerned. Dr. Mooney was talking about, okay, it is a fact, sometimes, defense minister may miss out on something, but why not also mention that there were 40 to 50 Pakistani soldiers who died? Now, we are not in this competition of how many people died and how many did not. But we did very well, isn't it? We were the one who executed this operation, and we came out with very negligible kind of, although very unfortunate, but 5 vis-a-vis 40, 50, and that is seen with wars like these. That is one. Second is that when SIR comes, this entire discussion is not possible in the parliament because it is one with the Supreme Court itself. I think, tomorrow is going to be today also there was a hearing, and tomorrow also there is going to be some hearing on this. So it is anyway sub judice. Within the parliament, it is not possible directly to discuss this. But I don't know why this entire thing is coming up. I think it is now again to deflect attention, because on one front they've lost very badly. So now they want to take it. And something on SIR, which has been a huge success up till now. So you have now more than 98% of Bihar's electorate actually coming up there. And it, the entire data is there. How many people have migrated, how many people have died. So they have nothing.
No, but obviously there are political compulsions. You have Bihar elections on the anvil. The opposition would obviously want this narrative to be set that they are picking up the issues that are politically relevant to that poll-bound state. But Tushar, I'll come back to you. But we've got another sensational speech coming in and gives us a fresh talking point. NCP SP MP Supriya Sule, who, unlike the Congress party that did not send those leaders to the speaker to speak on the floor of the House, who were a part of Operation Sindoor delegations, the party had chosen Supriya Sule to speak. Listen in to what she said on the floor of the House today, and then we come back to our discussion.
कनी मोड़ी जी यहाँ है, मैं यहाँ हूँ। जब हमें किरण रिजिजू का फोन आया था, किरण जी ने मुझे सिर्फ फोन पे कहा, सुप्रिया तुमको देश के लिए 10 दिन देने पड़ेंगे। देश के लिए मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ? देश के लिए 10 दिन क्या बोल रहे हो किरण जी आप? ये माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का बड़ापन था कि हम सारे ऑपोजिशंस को उन्होंने लीड करने के जो विश्वास दिखाया है, यही एक सशक्त लोकतंत्र है। कनी मोड़ी जी यहाँ है, मैं यहाँ हूँ। जब हमें किरण रिजिजू का फोन आया था, किरण जी ने मुझे सिर्फ फोन पे कहा, सुप्रिया तुमको देश के लिए 10 दिन देने पड़ेंगे। देश के लिए मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ? देश के लिए 10 दिन क्या बोल रहे हो किरण जी आप? ये माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का बड़ापन था कि हम सारे ऑपोजिशंस को उन्होंने लीड करने के जो विश्वास दिखाया है, यही एक सशक्त लोकतंत्र है।
Tushar, quickly, is this why Congress did not send either Tharoor or Manish Tiwari?
Of course, the Congress wants people to toe the party line, not the country line. If someone in the Congress prioritizes country over the party, or rather the family, they're asked to keep quiet, they're asked to keep mum, and that is how the Congress has always operated. Point number 2, I'm quite surprised that tomorrow when Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi are scheduled to speak in the parliament, as per the news reports, the opposition is going for a protest early morning and possibly will push the Lok Sabha session as it was done.
I'm sorry,
today.
gentlemen, I'll have to interrupt all of you because a major development is coming in, and this comes from the Grand Mufti. This is about Nimisha Priya's death sentence, and Grand Mufti of India's office says that the death sentence has been revoked. A big development coming in. This decision comes after a high-level meeting was held in Sana. This decision has reportedly been taken during mediation talks that involved a delegation of Yemeni scholars appointed by Sheikh Umar Hafiz Tangal. This was done at the request of Indian Grand Mufti. My colleague Arpita now joins us for more. Arpita, have we also heard something from the Ministry of External Affairs on this officially?
Well, no, there is no official confirmation from MEA, but what the office of Grand Mufti is saying, Kantapuram Abu Bakar's office has announced that the death sentence of Nimisha Priya has been cancelled. In fact, as per the statement that they released, the sentence which had earlier been temporarily postponed has now been officially revoked following a high-level meeting in Sana, is what they have said. In fact, this decision was reportedly taken during a mediation talk that was held between Yemeni scholars that were appointed by Sheikh Umar Hafiz Tangal at the request of Abu Bakr, and along with the rulers of Nadom, Yemen, and international diplomatic representatives that is what is being said. In fact, I also spoke to Chande Oman, who is the MLA, Congress MLA here, who has been initiating the talks since day one. He also confirmed that the office of Abu Bakr has confirmed that this has been revoked. Her death sentence has been revoked. In fact, earlier her death sentence was supposed to happen on July 16th.
Yes.
But with the last minute intervention,
a lot of back and forth has been going on behind the scenes. A lot of negotiations and mediations have taken place. Finally, the decision is in, although we are yet to receive an official confirmation from Ministry of External Affairs or something in writing from the government of Yemen. But what Grand Mufti of India tells us is that Nimisha Priya's death sentence has been revoked. A big respite for her family coming in. Thank you, Arpita. That's all the time we had for you right now. Taking a very quick breather. All the latest on the other side.